There we go. YouTube live. And
Ready
now
for 'em?
time for the list.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Kathleen Cameron here with Jason Derulo, and we are so excited. We haven't done this in a little bit of time, but we are so excited to do a masterclass tonight on how to make your first million. So the two of us, I'm not sure how many millions we've made together, but it's probably a significant amount of millions of dollars that have moved through our lives, and we are so grateful for it. But we want to come on today and serve you with some information, with some value about some of the ways in which we have been able to do that and some of the things that have helped us. So we're going to give you a few proven steps on how to make your first million. Every time I sit with this man, I learn new things. So I'm excited to see what's going to come through him tonight. We apologize for being a little bit late, but you know how it is, the life of a pop star. He's busy doing things constantly. And so it's happening in divine time. We trust and we go with the flow. So thank you for your patience, everybody. And we have a special gift that we're going to share with you at the end. So stay with us. And the replay will be emailed out to everyone who registered tomorrow morning. And the replay of this will stay on the YouTube channel if you want to consume it again later. So thank you, everybody, for staying. Jason, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to be here with you again.
Come on, same here.
Yeah.
As always.
I love the topic of, like, the word millions can be a word that people think is outside of the realm of their possibility for themselves. But for me, it was the moment that I started to think from the idea of millions that it started to become first relatable for me and then became a reality for me. So I love that we titled this masterclass, How to Make Your First Million, because it's actually a frame of mind. It's actually like a way of thinking. And so when you're thinking about making your first million, you're not thinking about how you can't.
Yeah, it's talking about money in general. You know, when you get into the millions, it's almost a curse word.
Yeah.
Right. When you become a certain level, when you have a certain status, it's almost frowned upon to speak about money. And I think that is it's a perspective that we need to change. If we're going to move things within our life, we can't look at money as a negative thing. We need to look at it as a positive thing. Because I think when you're coming from a certain place and you're looking at people that have something, the common thing to do is to curse it, you know, and say that person is bad, or that person is undeserving, or that person. Yeah. I think we first need to change our perspective of abundance. Abundance is not a negative thing; it's a positive thing. And what you decide to do with your abundance is totally up to you, but first we have to accept that money is a positive, and it gives us freedom, you know, and I think all of us should want freedom for ourselves and for our family, you know, in different ways.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm someone that actually I teach people how to make more money now. And I remember when I first got interviewed, I can't remember if it was on like a Small Town Today show or something like that. And I remember the first time they said, okay, Kathleen, you can talk about manifestation, but you can't talk about manifesting money. And I was like, oh, like, what's going on here? Why not? Like, why can I talk about how all of you can get wealthier and how it's a good thing? And I found over the years, this is probably 3 years later now, that I can like sit on a show, like I was on breakfast television in Canada, which is kind of like Good Morning America in Canada. And they said, how many millions have you made and how long? And then tell us how to do it. And so I feel like it's shifting, it's changing, but by keeping money this like secret, we're almost like limiting people's access to it. So I feel like when we normalize it, it allows the capacity to open. And one thing I know for sure, and you'll totally get this, but people that have money, they're comfortable talking about it.
For sure.
It's not like this like taboo conversation because it's natural. And so we talk about money in similar ways. Yeah, we talk about money in ways that we talk about many things, like going to the gym. Yeah. You know, and it's very, very normal. So I think for us to have this conversation today together is beautiful. And it gives us an opportunity to share. So we talked about when we had you sign up for this masterclass, we talked about how we wanted to share 3 proven steps. So one of the things that I would love to start off with and us talk about the importance of mindset and belief in the ability to make millions. And I would love to know from you, Jay, what is like the number one way in which your thinking has been that has allowed you to be able to receive? And self-belief.
I think the main thing is always coming from a place of wanting to serve others. It's a subject that nobody ever puts emphasis on. And the reason that we're put on this earth, honestly, is to serve others, right? And in turn, beautiful things happen when you're serving others. For instance, when I am looking at my circle and I am wanting them to do well and I'm wanting them to be the best versions of themselves, and I am putting them in the right positions, right? Trying to uplift them. You know, it's not always about me. It's everybody that has a seat at the table. I want them to have a real seat, right? So I'm serving them. I'm trying to give them the best opportunities always, the people that are around me. And in serving them, they become a different version of themselves. And it all feeds the beast, you know, but it comes from a place of love. I just want them to be the best version of themselves. I want them to provide for themselves, for their families. I want them to make more money. I want them to be as successful as possible. And in turn, it just so happens that it helps me. But it's coming from a pure intention. When I'm making songs, I'm not thinking about how many records I'm going to sell, how many platinums I'm going to have, how many people are going to come to the show, this, that, and the other. No, I'm coming from a pure place of service. You know, I hope this song touches somebody. I hope when I go on tour, somebody's inspired by this. I hope, you know, that's the place where I'm always coming from. And I think through service, you know, which is of the Bible, right? Through service, I believe that we are able to accrue more abundance.
Well, that's actually universal law as well, because the law of compensation says that we will be compensated greatly based on the level of impact that we provide in the world. So those individuals that are making the most money, they tend to be the ones making the biggest impact. They're the most influential, you know, like things like Amazon, you know, making such a big impact, things like Uber, you know. So in turn, the more you serve humanity, the greater difference you make on humanity, the more you'll be compensated. It also is true too, though, with the law of compensation, that the more important what you do is, the more value there is in it, the more you'll be compensated, but also how impactful you think you are at it, right? So when you went out there and said, okay, music is so important, it's valuable, it has like a major purpose, role in people's lives, and I'm going to go create music that everybody's going to love, you opened yourself up to receive more. And then when you said, well, I'm the best, or I'm going to have the most amount of albums, or I'm going to be world famous, and you believed in yourself, you also opened yourself up to compensation. So there is a very, very important correlation between self-belief, level of thinking, and being open to receive. Like if you think that you're somebody that nobody cares about and nobody wants to listen to, and you're never going to impact anybody, you're already starting in behind.
For sure.
So this is where we really want you guys to believe in yourself and to believe that you're important enough to make an impact out in the world. And then the abundance becomes a secondary currency, spiritual currency being number one. Yeah.
I love that.
The second thing that we wanted to talk about today is also the importance of taking risks and moving forward. So these concepts I'm talking about are actually in your book. So taking risks is a chapter in your book, and it's a lesson in our program, $1 Million Mentality. And this really, when I heard you talk about this, like taking risks, it left an impact on me, because in order to do something that's never been done, you have to be bold enough to do that, right? Everybody is so used to doing the same thing. So how do you look at risk taking, and how do you be bold and move forward?
Truth be told, the more risk that you take, the easier it is, because there's nobody in your lane, right? There's already Jay-Z that exists, right? There's already a Beyonce that exists. There's already a Michael Jackson. So those people are taken. Truthfully, an individual is so much easier to become successful. It's so much easier to become a version of you that people want to gravitate to, as opposed to trying to become a carbon copy of somebody else. But you can relate. I love how the music industry relates to so many different areas in life, because the same thing with car washes, right? You can, for me, when Rocket Car Wash came into the scene, the fact that it was different than all the others, the fact that it had something, that was we're offering something different to the people, and it was this premium service, this car wash that looked like a club almost. It just stood out. It was just like something else. Truthfully, I think it's just way easier to be an individual. It's so much easier to be you. There's nobody else like you, right? So you have that special, and I think too often we are taking people that are supposed to be an inspiration and we try to become them as opposed to becoming an individual. And I can relate that to all of the shows that come out, right? With American Idol and The Voice and all of these shows. It's so hard to find a star in these shows, even though they're amazingly talented. It's very hard to find a talent, a voice that is an individual that people want to follow. People want to know what they're doing because they are truly and holistically themselves. That's the thing that makes people drawn to you. When you believe in yourself and your individual in your individualism, it makes people get drawn to you. Like, what is this light that this person has? I want to go see. I want to go find out more about this person. It's because they are unapologetically themselves.
That's so good. Because what you're talking about here is authenticity, which is the most magnetic. It's the most magnetic vibration in the entire universe, authenticity. Mm-hmm. When somebody's like existing in their truth and authentically being themselves, you feel it, you love it, you want to be around them. And you can tell when someone's inauthentic. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, there's like this energy here and it just doesn't feel right. It's out of sync. So that's super powerful what you just said, but you're also talking about how you're taking uniqueness and making it their superpower or their zone of genius, right? Mm-hmm. And so where I think that relates to a risk is that it's easier and comfortable and safe to be like everybody else and fit in, mm-hmm. right? So when we're young, when we're teenagers, like I went to a high school football game probably like a month ago, and like all of the girls were dressed in the exact same outfit, like same jeans, same shirt, like it was like a uniform. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting, because as you climb the different levels of awareness and you grow into your humanity, you will realize that like to be like the masses and to be like everybody else is a lower level of awareness. When you start to actually seek your individuality, this is where you start to climb up towards mastery of awareness and enlightenment. But I actually faced this very thing when I first got in the coaching industry, because coaching has traditionally been very, very male-led and male-driven. Mm-hmm. Coaching industry, but also motivational speaking. The top motivational speakers in 2019, when I launched my business, when I was thinking about launching my business, the top 10 were all men. And there was like one woman and then like 9 other men. And so when I went out into the industry and I started like thinking about how am I going to approach my business and how do I want to teach this work, I went and got headshots done in like a blazer and it very masculine. And I remember being like, oh, this just doesn't feel right. And the industry was very, very much focused upon like looking like an executive business coach, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to be myself. And so I showed my tattoos and wore a little cleavage and like just decided I was going to be different. I was going to be me. And I had so many people sign up for my coaching because they were like, you know what? You're actually being the real you. You're like not trying to be anything. And that was really impactful. And also at that time, I was 320 pounds. So I was in a large body. And I think I had one person say like, how can you coach people to be successful when you're plus size, when like you can't lose weight. And I remember going, no, I can lose weight. I don't want to. That's not success to me right now, you know? And being my authentic self, I made $1 million in 7 months that year from deciding to be myself. So I can totally relate to that. But I wanted to ask you too about this taking risks. When somebody tells you that something is risky, what do you hear? Like, what is the thought you have?
That it's probably the road less traveled.
Yeah.
When it sounds risky, when it's something that's risky, I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be that many people there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted them to hear.
Yeah.
Because it is a different way of thinking, right? Like I actually, when somebody says like, oh, well, that sounds risky, to me, I'm like, there's no risk. Like, because I know myself and I know what I believe to be true. And I know everything that I do turns to gold. That's a belief that I instilled in my mind. So everything I do works. So there's no risk at all.
Truth.
And for you, you're looking at it as an opportunity.
100%.
Risk as an opportunity.
100%. My favorite things are doing things that other people wouldn't do. When people say that I'm crazy for doing something, I know I'm doing something correct.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, something as simple as this. You know, say I have like a late meeting or a late studio session or something, and everybody goes to bed, and then I go to the gym. That's like a big win to me. It's like I did something today, you know, that nobody else would have done.
I love
and
that.
Those moments I feel the most accomplished when I'm doing something that I don't feel like other people would do. And I'm talking about, this is like the 1% of the 1% mentality. This is not for everybody. You know, my mentality is quite different, right? I don't have the same mentality as the average person, but with my mindset, I feel like if you adopt that mindset and chase those kinds of moments, it will just set you apart, you know, holistically, because I live my life that way, right? I'm always trying to find moments to work more than everybody else.
Yeah.
I thrive off that.
Yeah, it's so good too, because I'm actually hearing that, and I'm thinking about like the ways in which I now have tapped into success. And people would think it's crazy. You know, it's totally opposite from you, which I think is great because it shows you guys that you can create success in any way. But I actually teach people to work less and make more. And like the more I rest, the more I make. And so I have a mastermind I've just started called the Effortless Mastermind. And so for me, like I actually have mastered the art of calling more into my life by actually working less. And we've joked about this, like I get a good night's sleep and he's up late.
For sure.
But it's just a different way of experiencing life. And I think, oh no, the dog. Ice knocked over the pop. But I think it's just evidence that you can create success in many ways, and it's all available to you.
But it depends on what it is, though, right?
So for sure.
Because I think your perspective is more things that come from success from a mental standpoint.
Yes.
And whereas my success, my thought process is more physical.
Yes.
Right? Because you can't think about going to the NBA and being one of the best. Like you have to do
You have to do it. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's also the way in which I've created success as well. So like I've created business for myself in my life that I can do anywhere in the world. And like 90% of my business is like on my computer. Yes. Like when I cross the border, they're like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I'm on Zoom, you know, like, and my whole business can be run off my phone. Yeah. So
I would dare to say that most businesses are like that.
Yeah. And it's not to say that I wouldn't love, like if there was an opportunity for us to like go on tour and do some sort of like event like this, maybe we even like, maybe this is an intuitive hit coming through, but I think about like some of the stuff, that one's just water. Some of the stuff that like Michelle Obama was doing and Oprah's doing, where they get on stage and they interview people. Anyway, if we did something like that and we went on tour to go do it, like I would totally do that. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but just the way I've created success right now, it's just in a little bit of a different way, but I love that.
I love that too.
Because you can build life however you want.
I think it's important for people to understand the difference of the two.
Yeah. Well, and what I always say too is like, fall in love with doing something that you love and commit to it for the rest of your life versus trying to find what this person is doing that's creating success and do it. You know, like we look at real estate agents and they drive really nice cars. So people see that a real estate agent drives a nice car. So they're like, oh, I should become a real estate agent. But you and I both, what has really called in so much success into our lives is how passionate we are for what we do. For sure. Like, we're in love with the method of serving. We didn't choose it because it was going to give us success.
Exactly.
We chose it because we love it. The third thing for how to make your first million that I think is so powerful, and you've talked about this in our course and in your book, is the power of routines. So what would be, if you could give them maybe your top 3 routines over the years that you do that has created more wealth in your life? Like, what do you do, like, no matter what?
I would say the first thing that's a non-negotiable is health. And I believe that you can have everything in the world, but if you're not healthy, none of that matters.
You know what I say to that?
Tell me.
People say health is wealth. And I say no.
Why?
Because I want health and wealth.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I don't think health is wealth. I think I want to be healthy and wealthy.
No, I totally agree with that.
That's my little joke.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
No, but for sure, if you're sick, then you really just have that one big problem, you know, and nothing else matters, because you would trade all the money in the world to just be healthy again.
Well, you'd pay the system to treat you.
Yeah. Literally.
No, health is a beautiful one. And I know for you, you go to the gym, but what are some other healthy practices, like the food you eat? Yeah.
So I believe that the food that you eat is, you know, you're basically what you eat, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm actively always trying to learn more, and science is changing every single day, and we're finding out new things every day. So I try to stay on the cutting edge of what's new, what's changing, because they always change the facts. The facts are constant. It's like a moving target.
Oh yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. I treat it as a sport. So I'm constantly learning about the body and how to be the healthiest version of myself. Yeah. So when we're talking about routine, I try to make it to the gym as many times a week as possible.
Yep.
In my perfect world, I would go to the gym every single day, but obviously that's not how the world works. So my life ends up giving me the days off that I need. Yeah. But I aim to go to the gym every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm always doing intermittent fasting.
Yes. Do you do 18 hours?
Right.
Or like?
Right now, I'd say I'm doing about 20.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing about.
So you're eating like a meal a day?
Yeah, a meal or two.
Yeah.
Meal or two a day. But right now I'm hardcore because I'm going on tour. So like, you know, I'm going pretty crazy. But intermittent fast, I fast every Friday. So I don't eat on Fridays at all. And that kind of gets me ready for the week of intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And then the sauna is incredible for you.
Oh, yeah.
I believe the statistic is it lowers all mortality by 40%. So in any cause of death, it lowers by 40% if you're going to the sauna at least 3 times a week.
I love that. Do you have a routine related to your kind of connection to God, to source, to spirit? Like, do you do anything every day that helps you to like perceive God's presence in your life?
I mean, I pray every single day. And my fast on Friday is for God every week.
Oh yeah, that's spiritual.
So that's where that fast comes from. But my prayer every day is as as God is my best friend. You know, I go throughout my day and I speak to him, and you know, I feel like God is the best friend that, you know, that anybody could have. So I just speak to him throughout my day. It's not necessarily like a meditation that happens in my day or anything like that.
It's like a constant prayer throughout the. And you pray before you go. You do your shows and stuff.
100%. Yeah, I pray with my dancers, my band, the whole staff. We all pray together, and it keeps everything grounded in.
Yeah,
you know.
I love that. And then one other thing for me that I make sure is part of my routine, it's a non-negotiable. I think from my impact, and I think from what is I call it my raison d'être, which is French for reason for being. So I really do believe that this work and normalizing manifestation out in the world is my reason for being. So having said that then, and knowing that that's like my zone of genius, I want to make sure every day that I'm expressing my reason for being in some way. So whether that's talking to somebody about it or putting value on my Instagram account or talking to the lady in the grocery store about it, you know, just giving the value in some way, connecting to my reason for being every day, it almost keeps the momentum going of living in my purpose. And so it's not something I take a day off from, because like I don't teach manifestation, I am the manifestation. You know, and like for you, like you're Jason Derulo, you're not going to like turn it off.
Exactly.
It's who you are every day as you walk in life. It's your existence. So I would say that that's probably your routine too. I don't know, but that's for me. If I had to tell you my routine, it would be incorporating that in my day somehow.
I love that.
Constantly. Any other routines?
Routine. Basic routine for me. Right now, today, is I wake up in the morning and I get my son ready for school. I take my son to school, and then while he's at school, I'll go to the gym. After I go to the gym, you know, I right now I'm really trying to get ready for the tour, as you know.
When does that start?
That starts at the end of January.
Wow, and that's a European tour?
That's European.
Just people are probably going to ask you. European tour, okay. Yeah,
and other dates as well. But yeah, so I start with that, and then I'll do all of my business work before he's off school.
Yeah.
And then I'll pick him up from school, and then I'll have a couple of hours with him. And then after those couple of hours with him, that's when I dive into the studio. And I make all the magic work. By the way, I'm releasing a Christmas song.
Are you?
Yes.
When does that come out?
On Friday.
And what's it called?
Miracle.
Miracle. Oh, I can't wait. Can you play it for me after?
I sure will. Yeah.
Oh, I get to hear it before you.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I think it's this record that's so needed. But then I go to the studio, and then I do the exact same thing over and over and over.
Yeah, I love that it's called Miracle, because I talk about manifestation so much, and like I always say, like, you have to make room for the magic and miracles of life to be able to come to you. And if you're trying to force everything and you're trying to make it happen and you're gripping something so tightly, you're not making room for magic and miracles. So soften your grasp, touch it lightly, you know, be in the energy of what you would love, and, you know, say a prayer of thank you and let that miracle come. So
absolutely.
Beautiful title. Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. And you know what I've noticed with a lot of the more successful people that I've come across, and I come across a lot. They're very pleasant, loving people, you know, and they're really pleasant to be around. And it's almost like they are coming from a place of gratitude and are just so thankful, and they want to exude love, you know, for lack of a better term. For instance, like they'll go to their house and they'll be like, my house is your house.
Yeah.
Like please make yourself at home. Can I get a drink? No, please. Get something from the fridge. That's your fridge.
Yeah. I felt that coming here for the first time. being at your house. I felt very welcome.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I think if we understand that when you're in a state of gratitude, you call on more things to be grateful for. And being in gratitude is actually your connection to source. Like the gratitude vibration is the God energy. And so the more thankful you are, you attract more things from that frequency. But when you have a grateful mind, because your mind will always see what it looks for. It doesn't see what's really there. Like we have to understand that. So like if I were to ask you to find the color blue in this room, there's like blue there. That's it, right? Like that's the only blue. But like how much white is in here? I don't know. I didn't notice because I was looking for blue. So our mind will literally find what it's looking for. And so when you're in a state of gratitude, you see more things to be grateful for. And then your mindset is just all love. And then it just brings more to you. Yeah, so it definitely is a secret to success, to live in a state of perpetual gratitude and to see the beauty of the world, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Maybe we can get a couple of questions ready for us. I think, is that a good time for that? Before we do that, I just want to mention, though, I mentioned a little gift at the beginning. And so because we're coming up to Thanksgiving for Americans, I'm Canadian. So I tried to book a sound bath healing for Thursday, and she's like, no, it's Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh, I'm Canadian, my bad. Our Thanksgiving was in October.
Yeah.
But for Thanksgiving, for Black Friday, we wanted to do something really special and give a beautiful gift. And so just until Friday night, we're actually going to offer you an opportunity to take our course, $1 Million Mentality, which we had our first set of students go through. And the testimonials and the shares and the shifts have been so beautiful. And so for a limited time, it's regularly $497. You can actually get it until Friday at midnight for $333. Or on a payment plan, we've added a payment plan option there for $444. So we got to put the angel signs, we got to put the angel numbers in there with the 333 and the 444. So if you've been waiting for us to open enrollment again, you can click the link. We will put it everywhere, roadtomillions.com, and you can enroll, sign up, get in there, and then share with Jason how you're shifting. Because the shifts from his work, from his words, from his story are so impactful for him. And then he can start to share some of the learnings and the stuff that you guys are seeing shift happen through there. So if you have questions about the course, you can ask them on the live stream as well. But let's see what questions we have. Who are we getting it from?
So we can start with this one.
You want me to do this one?
Yeah, that big long
This one?
I think so. Rachel?
Okay. I'm not sure if Kathleen has children, but for Jason, how do you juggle being a parent and still focusing on your ambitions? My daughter is 2 years old. I want to be a role model, but not miss milestones. That's a great question.
It's an amazing question because it's a battle every single day. It's a battle that I'm fighting every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not trying to figure out the perfect balance. And truthfully, I don't know that there is a perfect balance because something is going to lack a little bit, right? I can always spend more time with him and I can always work more. But the fact still remains, what you take away from one side will be without your time for a second.
You only have so many hours in the day, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to balance both. And what I do is when I have my time with my son, I'm really with him.
Present.
I'm not on my phone. I'm not doing other things. I'm not halfway with him. I'm like really with him. And I want him to know that he has my complete and utter attention. And I give him time to do the things that he wants to do for a period of time. And then I will make sure that I'm supporting him and his goals. So whether that is me going to his track practice, whether that's me going to his boxing class, I'm there, I'm present, and I'm actually there and actually present. I'm not halfway there. So when I'm with him, I'm with him. And when I'm at work, I'm at work. And honestly, with that being the overarching kind of idea, I do the best that I can, and that's all that we can do as loving parents.
I would love to add to this too. So I am a mother. I have 2 daughters. They're 11 and 13, Mason and Reagan. They're the most beautiful, special girls to ever live, in my opinion. And I am a very driven and motivated woman, and my life is devoted to them, and it's devoted to this impact that I'm making. And so I had to kind of figure out this balance of like motherhood and business owner, CEO. Mm-hmm. And being able to manage both things. One thing that I have learned to do is to not keep my business completely separate from them, but to build my business with them. And so what I mean by that is like, I have this picture of me doing my first masterclass in my office was a dining room in my very first house. And I have myself set up to do my first masterclass, similar to what we're doing here. And I had little Miss Reagan on her computer just out of the frame, and she was doing her work. She was doing like her math problems.
Okay.
And so she felt so inspired to like do her stuff alongside me. And so I've always built my business with my family. And even now I have, obviously it's like a big corporation, and I have a lot of staff members. And it is very common for our staff members to have kids on our Zoom calls and kids to be in our meetings. And we've just normalized the incorporation of family into our business. And so we say this is a family business, and we really, really mean it. And so we're never like mad at somebody because their kid's interrupting the call. Like we're always like, hey, and we're like waving at each other's kids. And then I'll just go a little bit further because it's the same with fatherhood, but it's a little bit different with women and motherhood. For so long, so much of our identity has been tied to being a good mother. And when we started going out into the workforce and we started to make an impact outside of the home, we were still expected to make the exact same impact inside the home. And so as women, especially driven women that are making an impact, we're trying to be perfect mothers like we don't have a career. And we're trying to have a career like we don't have kids. And so what ends up happening is we start to feel guilty that we're not good enough mothers, or that we're not doing it right, or we're not giving our business enough and we're not doing it right. So one of the things that I have learned to do is give myself grace. I have learned to let go of the guilt that comes with either way. So if I have to come out of the business for a minute to do a motherly thing, I'm not going to feel guilty about it. And if I need to go into the business and do something and I can't be with my kids for that amount of time, I'm not going to feel guilty about it, because I understand that guilt and shame, they're the lowest frequencies in vibration. So when you're actually emitting shame and guilt out of your body, you're bending reality to a more shameful existence. So I've given myself grace, and I've chose to let some of the shame go and some of the guilt go. And so if you are feeling that, how can you give yourself more compassion and grace and realize that you're doing the best that you can?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love the family business motto. I have been living by that from the very beginning.
Well, we had the kids running around here literally like right before we pressed
yes,
play.
I totally love that.
Yeah.
And when my son is old enough, I'd love for him to be interested in some of the things that I'm doing. I think
it's inevitable. Cool. Yeah. And I think about what we're teaching our kids by showing up so boldly, so bravely, and like going after our dreams. I think our kids are just that's going to be easy for them. It's going to be natural for them to be so bold and to be so daring and take risks. So we're teaching them some pretty impactful lessons.
For sure.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
A lot more questions. Yeah, right there. You can hold it as well.
Oh, thanks.
You can hold it. Starts with that one.
Okay. From Jenna Lauren, what is the most pivotal moment in your spiritual, expensive growth?
Do you want me to answer that first? So in September of 2019, before I started what I call like living in this work, I thought I was a human, and that's it. Like I thought I was like Kathleen in the body, and that was it. So I had no higher spiritual perspectives. I was not somebody that went to church, that believed in God, that believed in a higher power. I didn't think I had a soul. So I truly just believed that this body was it. And so in September of 2019, I started learning about the law of attraction. And I read a book by Gabby Bernstein that was called The Universe Has Your Back. And I'm reading the book and I'm going, the universe has my back? Like what, the stars in the sky have my back? Like, are you talking about like astrology? Like, what is she talking about? Mm-hmm. And I started to go deeper into this concept. Like, what is it that people are talking about here? Like, what is this support or higher power? And I started to really study the idea of oneness and really, really understanding that I'm not my body, but I'm in my body. And so if I'm in this body, then what am I? And so I started to realize that I'm awareness. I am what is aware of my thoughts, aware of my body, aware of my surroundings. So for the first time, I woke up, had my awakening to the idea that I'm not just a human, that this entire iteration is a spiritual iteration. And I'm a spirit that has chose to come to humanity for a short time and to exist as such. And so since that time, I now believe that the universe has my back. I believe that God is supporting me. And I also believe that through the power of my own essence and who I believe I am and the thoughts that I think and what I desire for my life, I believe I'm guiding and directing that source energy, that God energy towards where I want it to go. That's my free will. So that's how I can literally think things into existence. And magic shows up in my life. But that was my spiritual expansion.
Amazing. My biggest growth in my spiritual expansion, I love that. How she put that.
I know, it's beautiful.
Was when I broke my neck. I broke my C2 vertebrae, and it was one of the lowest points in my life because I couldn't do anything myself. I couldn't tie my own shoe. I couldn't shower myself. I couldn't do any of these things myself. And I'm used to doing everything myself, right? As a man, we take pride in doing certain things, right? And when those simple things got, it was kind of stripped from me, and I didn't know where my career was going to go at that point. I didn't know how long I would be down for, or what would be of my career when I got better. I had no idea what my tomorrow would look like. And in that low point, I forgot about feeling sorry for myself. I said that instead of thinking about all of these negative things in my life, I'm going to focus on the path at hand, which is getting better and becoming better, a better version of me than what was before. And that was my mindset. That's what I had my heart set on. And it was going to be me, God, and my family. And we're going to do this thing together, and we're going to come back bigger and stronger. And throughout that process, again, I relied on that routine, and I set those little small goals every single day, and every day I got better, and I was writing songs every single day, and I got lost in that process. I got lost in the positivity. I got lost in me wanting to be better. And that was when I became a superhero. That was when I became the best version of me. And to this day, that album that I created in that time period, still to this day is my biggest album with 6 platinum songs off that album.
What would be one of those songs I would know?
Talk Dirty, Trumpets, Marry Me, Other Side, Wiggle, a ton of hits.
Wow, I don't think many people would know that about you in that time.
Yeah. So in that low point is when I became my greatest self.
Yeah, you almost got like the creative powers within you were like magnified even more so.
For sure.
How many years ago was that?
That was about 1 year ago now. That's fine.
No.
when I say these numbers, it ages me.
It ages you?
It's like 3 years. Maybe
You have no age. You're a spirit. You're a soul. You're infinite.
10. I think it was 10 years ago. 10.
Well, when I got out of the car today, you know what he said to me? Oh, you look so young. I said, thank you. I shall receive that.
No, yeah, it was about 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Wow.
Yes.
So you were like 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have another question on there we want to go to? That was such a good question.
So you are a great daddy. Thank you. Rich Connection says, what would you recommend for when you feel like you really lost your way and your authentic self that you aren't able to manifest? How do you get back into this headspace?
Oh, such a good question. What's so interesting is like the mind can literally, it's like this spiral effect where if you think you're lost, your mind will literally just make you more lost. And so you have to start thinking about no longer being lost, and you have to start thinking about being found in order to think from there. I am telling them. So that's why I say, like, never say you're blocked, never say you're lost, never say you're stuck. Because when you're thinking from that place, the egoic mind shuts down. So if you were found, what would you say? If you were found, what would you think? If you knew what you wanted, what could you possibly want? Like, you have to think from that place. Here's a little tip that I learned from Neil Donald Walsh. So good, because the egoic mind can be powerful. So when your mind tries to tell you, I don't know. So like, I'll say to somebody, okay, in order to manifest, you have to know what you want. So what do you want? And they say, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, that's your ego trying to block you. So if you did know, what would you want? And so then now we're bypassing it. We're like, oh, okay, well, if I did know, what would I want? And then if you still don't have an answer, I'll say, okay, if you had to guess what you would want, what would you guess that maybe you would want? And so here we are again, we're bypassing the ego a second time. And if you still can't give me an answer, then I'm going to say, make something up. If you had to make it up, what would you say? And there you go. As soon as you make it up, you realize that's what you would want, right? And so it's the story that's actually keeping you lost, and it's the story that's actually keeping you behind. That's my belief.
For sure. And you almost think that you don't deserve the thing that you want. So you don't even want to say it because you think that it's so lofty that people would laugh at you for saying it.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
deep.
have no shame now.
That's deep. You think that you're not even allowed to say it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a curse word. You can't say that you want to be a billionaire because it's a curse word. Because everybody around you will be like, what? You? What? So what? Like, let them think that.
Oh yeah. I'm out here calling myself KCB all the time. Everybody calls me KCB now. Like, people are like, what does KCB mean? I'm like, Kathleen Cameron, billionaire. And even the Starbucks guy at the base of the hill in my Malibu house, I walk in there and he's like, KCB, good morning. And I'm like, here we go. So the world literally just gives you what you're giving it. Like, what you're certain of, the world will just be certain right back. So for me, it's, pivoting the story to a place where I'm, the words we use are so powerful. So when people say I'm struggling with this, I'll say, okay, you're not struggling. What you're actually doing is becoming more aware. So instead of saying I'm struggling with so-and-so, we say, I would love to learn more about how to do this. And so the mind opens and allows instead of it being like a block.
Yes.
Right?
We have to change the way we speak. Even when I'm talking about my body, like I never even speak bad about my body. If I'm having
Me not anymore,
a pain somewhere, I would never say I have a bad this or I have a bad that. Like I completely shift the way that I speak about myself, my body, my life, my family's lives, family's bodies.
Yep.
Like I don't speak anything negative about anything having to do with me.
Yeah, even pain. So I had surgery June 23rd, and I have a health coach, and she said to me, we're going to talk about pain a little bit differently. And I was like, okay, so like, what do you mean? She's like, we're going to call them sensations. And I was like, sensations? She's like, yeah. So when you start to feel them, identify them as sensations. And then she also helped me to see that when I am experiencing those sensations, it's actually healing of the body. We think it's the incision that hurts, but it's actually the healing of the incision coming together that hurts. And so when she had me shift my mind to that, and I started thinking from sensations and from healing, this surgery that I had, most people that I have ever heard that have had this have said it's one of the most painful surgeries they've ever had. And I didn't find it painful at all.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the one day I made a little joke. I had to take one pain pill one day, and I said, the sensations are sensational today. But that little shift in mindset, though, of naming it something different changes, because as soon as you start to say, I'm in pain, oh, that hurts, you're now sending more signals. Like, I used to be a labor and delivery nurse. So I used to help women through birthing children. And the women that got through it the fastest, the easiest, in the most calm way, they weren't like saying, I'm in so much pain, it hurts. They were actually very much inside themselves and in the relief of the in between the contractions, not in the contractions and the pain. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
So our words are so magical.
So powerful.
So magical. What else? How are we doing for time? We're good to keep going?
I think we got a couple more minutes. It's a lot to pick from.
Yeah. Can I read this one? Corey Evan, 1154. When you make a choice about what to consciously choose to align to have or desire, what's one word or adjective that would describe the state of being in those moments? So this is a little bit of a deeper concept, but when we understand manifestation, we manifest a vibrational state. So what that means is the desired state, the end result, the thing that you desire. So whether that's fame, money, health, love and relationships, a new house, peace, prosperity, whatever it is, there's a feeling attached. And so that feeling is a state of being. It's a vibration that you hold in your body. So in order for you to call on the experience of the desired state, you must first vibrationally be the desired state before the desired state becomes present. So for me, I vibrationally matched being a millionaire, and then the millions came. So I wasn't like thinking from lack and limitation and poverty, and then $1 million showed up in my bank account, and I was like, oh, I'm wealthy. No. I programmed myself and convinced myself I was wealthy, and I had an inner sense of plenty. So I saw the abundance all around me. I felt so grateful for everything I had, and I was thinking from the idea of more, and then more came. So you want to vibrationally match. And so what's a word or an adjective? Whatever you would call it. So if you say to yourself, okay, my desired state is wealth, abundance, and prosperity, you go into your imagination and you ask yourself, well, what would I feel every day? What would be the experience of feeling that thing every day? And let's say you say it's gratitude. So your full-time job is to be grateful. And then you vibrationally, you match it, because you'll never manifest something that you first aren't willing to be vibrationally, essentially.
Truth.
Yeah.
Same for me. So so today, right, I'm manifesting more. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm always trying to figure out what the more version of me is.
Yeah.
Down to how I speak, how I'm interacting with people, how I'm sitting, how I dress.
Yep.
If you notice the shift in the way that I dress on my Instagram, I'm changing the way that I'm dressing, because I'm getting myself ready for the next phase. Yep. Right?
And that's that's the evolution of a new identity, right? So when you're rising in your identity to that more place, he dresses different.
He definitely does.
And he feels different. And the way he dresses matches the feeling, right? I use KCB, I name it KCB. She's my grandest version. She's like the highest version of myself that I can think up in this moment. I'm sure there's going to be more after that, but she's the highest version. So every day I'm like, okay, what does it feel like to be her? And then how can I walk in the feeling of her every day? And then the jewelry will match her, and the clothes will match her, and like the type of car I rent will match her, the house I buy matches her, and so it's very much it's called I refer to it as the emotional conception of self. So like there's an emotion attached to who you think you are, and that's the vibration you're emitting, the pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know I'm getting a little wordy. Sorry, guys.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's magical. So I hope that makes sense. That was a really good question. I think his name was Corey, or her name was Corey. Okay. Do you want me to find another question?
I think,
one more?
Yeah, I think we can do one more.
Okay. Let's do another one. Okay, Street Savage says, this is a good podcast, though. Surprised that a figure like Jason would be on here talking about this stuff.
Love that.
So good, because there's no gatekeeping. There's no gatekeeping. I love this. What came to mind when you first wrote your book? When you first wrote that book, why did you do that? And like, what came to mind?
I touched a little bit on it earlier, but service. How can I help others? How can I give the information that I know onto others so that they can become their best version? I'm generally the happiest guy in the room, you know, and I'm so grateful. I feel like I'm living my best life always, you know, for lack of a better term. And it's because I get to do the things that I love to do. And I've found my way, you know, and as I get older, I'm like, damn, like I wish other people knew what I know, you know, and I can try to preach it to people. I can try to, you know, fit it in a Instagram post. I can try to, talk about it during an interview or something like that, but it was just not enough, you know? So I decided to write a book to help people figure out what their version of my life is. And in writing that book, I've definitely helped a lot of people, but I now want to take it even further. And I just want to preach the gospel, you know, to be completely honest with you. I want to preach the gospel. I want people to know what is possible, because for so long, I feel like there has been a massive wall in front of a lot of us, right? Yeah. And we're not even allowed to dream as big as some people. You know, coming from where I'm from, you're not allowed to dream as big as I dream, you know? And that was the sole purpose, to offer an act of service. And as this sector of my life continues to grow, I want to help more and more people.
That's so beautiful. Even your mom, I met your mom tonight, and she knew me, and she was so excited because she said to me that she loves that you're starting to share kind of how you did it, and influence the younger generation to come up. She's very proud of that. So I thought that was so special. And there's one last question here that I thought I would answer, and I have to, because your YouTube name is Grandest Ray, and Ray is what we call my daughter Reagan. So I love that it's Grandest Ray. And I always use the word grand, like your grandest version. So I love this. So I'm taking that as a sign that I'm supposed to answer your question. What advice do you have for someone looking to break the mold and to break into the elevated version of themselves while breaking family limiting cycles when it comes to money? Do you have an answer?
Can you read that? Because there's a couple in there. Can you say that?
Yeah. So she wants to break the mold and break into an elevated version. And what advice would you have to break the family limiting cycles when it comes to money? So she's obviously been born into limiting financial cycles. So how do you break that mold when everybody around you is thinking from lack and limitation?
I think one of the hardest things to do is to ignore the noise around you. Because when you are born into a household, right, you share the same ideals, you share the same religion, you share the same political views. Everything, you kind of grow up in a house, and everything that your family and your parents think, you think too. Right? If this person is bad, we all believe this person is bad. And the hardest thing to do is to be an individual within the family unit. But I think today's a good time to start, right? And you have to break the mold by going out and actually learning as much as you can about the specific thing that you want. Whatever it is that you want, you have to be you have to get a doctorate in whatever that field is.
Yeah.
So first is learning what it is that you love, that you're so interested in, that you want to know more about it. And then
And we created a course called $1 Million Mentality. Sorry.
no, please.
Like, we created a program to help you do that. So if you haven't signed up for the program yet, our Black Friday deals, our special gift offers just till Friday at midnight, $1 million, what is it? roadtomillions.com. Because we don't want you to just listen to us and go, that sounds good. We want you to actually walk away with actionable steps to take.
Mm-hmm.
And there's worksheets and embodiment practices in this program. It's powerful. So it'll help you to take the material, to learn it and become it. And it'll give you, I say, like, you can do it without us, but we're going to help you do it a little bit faster, a little bit easier, and with a little bit more love. Yeah. But what else were you going to say?
I mean, that's gonna take our way further than this one line answer. But I think we all struggle with the same exact thing. This is not a problem that only you have, Ray. So this is a problem that we all have shared. So yes, I do encourage you to first pick what it is that you want, and then you got to do the work.
I will just quickly add a little thing that I do with a lot of my one-on-one coaching clients is we take a look at the world, and there are things that do exist in the world, like racism and sexism, ageism, all kinds of fat phobia, things like that. They all exist in the world. And if you believe in them, you make them more real for you, so then they exist within you. So what I say, anytime that I'm seeing something outside of myself that I feel is a limit, I say that's not my experience. And so with family cycles of poverty, you might witness or observe someone in your family talking about money in a negative way and talking about how they can't pay their bills and they're broke. And when I hear something like that, I think to myself, that's not my experience. And so it just allows me to step outside of what's occurring in the world and not let it occur in my world. So if that's helpful for you, that could be a little thing that you could do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gucci.
Oh my gosh. Any last words for everybody? Thank you for watching and sitting with us.
For sure. Big love to everybody that joined us this evening, and I want to do this again.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to join the course. I think you deserve it. You should invest in yourself. I think it's the first step is investing in yourself. You deserve to be free. You deserve that freedom for you, for your family. And sometimes we don't know where to start. And I believe that this course can kind of mitigate that first step. That's the hardest, just taking that first step. You should really, really believe in yourself, because we believe in you.
Yeah. And one of the things that you said when we first filmed the program, you said that you wanted to create something that you wish you had when you started your journey. So this course was created out of love and for something that we were both looking for. Past versions of us would have been looking for it. So sending everybody that was watching tonight so much love and so much gratitude. We're so humbled to be here, that you gave us your time, and we felt God's presence on this live stream tonight for sure. So thank you, sending you love, and until we meet again, thank you so much for watching.